This video today concerns geoengineering. I just want to put out there a little bit more information about what geoengineering entails, where it's coming from, and how it is affecting our lives. This video is dedicated to all life on Earth and to this planet. As you can see here, I'm sharing a screen and I'm gonna show you a few important documents to be able to support this video. Geoengineering, it's a Harvard University program, Harvard's Solar Geoengineering Research Program. You can read here, geoengineering refers to a set of emerging technologies that could manipulate the environment and partially offset some of the impacts of climate change. Solar geoengineering, in particular, could not be a replacement for reducing emissions or coping with a changing climate. As you can see, geoengineering, also known as chemtrails, by those individuals that do not understand what this is. It's a university program. It's a true program, and it's geared towards helping to improve climate. You can go to Harvard University page and you can further read this page and see how they are attempting to, or are doing it already, using sulphur to create stratospheric aerosols to cool the planet. But at your own leisure, you can come here and see this page online. I just wanted to start this video by helping you understand that this geoengineering chemtrails issue is real and why we are being scapegoats of this program. I am going to show you a second document, also from Harvard University. And this program, this is their fact sheet concerning solar geoengineering. You see here the contributors, Lizzie Burns, Dave Keith, Peter Urban, Joshua Horton. And I just want to bring your attention to what this is. It says solar geoengineering has the potential to reduce climate impacts around the globe, but it also carries its own risks and uncertainties. This is coming from the people that created this program. The science and the governance are very challenging. The questions at issue now is not about deployment. I want you to know deployment is already ensued. There is already deployment. It is about whether there should be a serious research effort on solar geoengineering to advance understanding on the efficacy, benefits, and risks, and to identify strategies that may make it safer. That means it is not safe. These are the proposed solar geoengineering technologies. Include marine cloud brining, cirrus cloud thinning, space-based techniques, stratospheric aerosol scattering, which is the airplanes that you see with the white fume of chemtrails. You can come to this page as well. It's on their website, and you can see this technology fact sheet series, and you can see how these four methods, how they want to implement this. I won't go reading this because you can do it on your own. But on this page, I want to go to these highlighted areas. This is the most important part I want you to see. Yet, any benefits come with novel risks and significant uncertainty. I want you to know Geoengineering, it's an experiment on us, on humanity, globally. It has risks, it's very uncertain. This is not coming from my mouth, although it is as well, because I understand how it's working. This is coming from who made the program. You can see it here. Any benefits, there won't be any benefits. I want you to know that as well. Any benefits come with novel risk and significant uncertainty. For example, by affecting temperatures differently than precipitation, solar geoengineering raises concerns and uncertainties surrounding the regional distribution of impacts despite potential global benefits. It means they are manipulating the weather. Precipitation, rain, is not taking place for the last 3, 4, 5 years as it should globally. They are manipulating the weather. This is what it means here. Because temperature on this planet, it's affected by precipitation, normal, natural precipitation. And they are, with this program, with this experiment, they are doing away or breaking the regular precipitation patterns, and they are just creating these fake clouds, and they are affecting precipitation. They are manipulating the weather. And in some areas, it's gonna be very dry, and they're gonna create droughts. In some areas, it's gonna be floods. This is what is happening. And it's not only what I'm saying, it's here. I want you to come to this other part. Sulfate aerosol. They put sulfur in these aerosol injections so that the airplanes carry this aerosol in the stratosphere, and it lands here on Earth. It lands on us. Sulfate aerosol, the most frequently analyzed proposal for solar geoengineering. I want you to know this too. The most frequently analyzed proposal, because they are not only experimenting with sulfur, they're experimenting with other nanoparticles and with other metals and other things that I'm going to show you in a different page I have here. Sulfate aerosol, the most frequently analyzed proposal for solar geoengineering, may reduce some climate risks, but it would also reduce the ozone layer and hit the lower tropical stratosphere. Okay, if you're not seeing what I'm seeing, you're blind. What they're saying here is that they are opening a hole on the ozone layer. Wherever they deploy geoengineering, the ozone layer in the sky is becoming bigger and bigger, and it is already there. There is a hole in the sky, in the ozone layer. You can send someone out there and you can see for yourself. This is happening right now in 2023 in December. This is not a bogus video. This is for everybody to understand the great consequences of keeping our mouth shut and our eyes blind to everything that is happening around us. We need to get more involved with what is happening to us globally and individually where you live, okay? Geoengineering, solar radiation management, what they're doing with the clouds, it is reducing the ozone layer, okay? That means more of the ultraviolet rays from the sun are gonna get to us. They are affecting negatively the ozone layer and hitting the stratosphere or the lower tropical stratosphere. Basically, all this means is that they are trapping heat where we live, where we reside, down here on Earth. This is trapping heat. The most frequently analyzed proposal for solar geoengineering may reduce some climate risks, may reduce. They're not certain that this is working or will work for climate. I also want you to see this. Only in this paragraph, you can tell this doesn't work. You guys out there, you are worried about the environment. Take a look at this. It will not reduce anything. And they are telling you, may reduce climate risk, but it would reduce the ozone layer and heat the lower tropical stratosphere. This is why temperature has been increasing in the last 4 years instead of just maintaining the heat that it was before. However it was, they are making it worse. They are making it worse, and you can tell. I want to take your attention to this other paragraph. So how can one understand several of these risks in the context of climate change? The risks that would arise from stratospheric heating are not yet well understood and need to be studied. Meaning they know there's gonna be heat trapped down here, so it's gonna feel warmer, and it still needs to be studied. But we have started to learn more about the direct health risks arising from increased particulate matter. Okay, so they are starting to know more the health risks. What does this mean? Please don't be blind. It's affecting our health. They are understanding by experimenting on us how there are health risks. So they're understanding more the risks, how they're already putting the particulate matter in the atmosphere, and we have been inhaling all of this. So they are understanding how the health risks are going to impact humanity. They are going to understand how the ozone layer is getting affected from these stratospheric aerosols. Now they're saying that these latter risks, meaning health risks, particulate matter, and decreased stratospheric ozone, they say these are small compared to climate impact. So what this is saying is that your health doesn't matter. This is saying that the ozone layer does not matter. Our health and the planet do not matter for the benefit of climate impact and climate change. If you haven't seen anything crazier than this, I'm showing it to you. This is the craziest, most, I have no words right now. Because I'm telling you, I'm doing this video for life on this planet. So I am very eager to make people understand that these universities, these scientists are not working for us. They have a mindset on an experiment they want to conduct and to make it successful. That does not mean it's working for you or it's working for the planet. And this is telling you right here, everything I am describing is summarized in this paragraph here. They're putting the stratospheric injections in the atmosphere. We are inhaling the sulfur. It's coming into our skin. It's coming into our brain. It's coming into our lungs. We are daily breathing this substance that is not naturally made. It's not naturally made. It's enforced on us. And there are health risks. I want you to know this. This is in the air. You don't see it visually. It's not visible, but it is there. You are inhaling what they are putting in the air. And it's coming into your skin, and it's going into your blood. It's going into your heart. It's going into your brain. We have to wake up. We have to wake up. It further reads, for example, if a stratospheric sulfate aerosol injection, none other than chemtrails, if you are still, like many others out there, thinking this is a bogus claim. Sulfate aerosol injection is not other what people call chemtrails, okay? If a stratospheric sulfate aerosol injection were adjusted to produce the same cooling as produced by stratospheric sulfate aerosol pollution, just meaning sulfur that is being injected towards natural sulfur occurring on Earth, the mortality from the stratospheric sulfates, the ones that are injected, would be roughly 1,000-fold smaller. So they're saying, they're comparing, how could you die from either natural sulfur or injected sulfur? So there is mortality here as well. People are dying. This is an experiment, but people are dying, and it's here. There will be mortality. This is because current pollution activities release sulfate near the surface, exposing populations to harm before it's rained out. Whereas stratospheric geoengineering will release sulfates in the upper atmosphere, that's with the airplanes, which would rain out as they make their way down to the surface. Guys, this means the injections, stratospheric injections of aerosol, of course, the only way that they have is to come down. They're coming down on us. They're raining on us. So it means the rain that you see lately is not natural rain, because of course it's not natural cloud formation. It's this bogus experiment making clouds out of sulfur. It's raining out on you. It's raining out on Earth. What does this mean here? To rain out the sulfur. It's getting into the crops, into the harvest, into the land, into what animals eat, into what you eat. Because when the sulfur rains out on Earth down here, it's raining on everything. Because rain, like you know, rain is like, it rains down on everything. It rains down on the mountains, on the lakes, on the ocean. So it's making the ocean more acidic, and it's trapping there more sulfurs and substances that should not be there. So basically, it's affecting everything on Earth. When the sulfur rains out, it means it's getting down here on everything, on the land, on the people, on the animals, on the forest, on the mountains, on the water supplies. So, whereas stratospheric geoengineering would release sulfates in the upper atmosphere with the airplanes, which would rain out as they make their way down to the surface, limiting the exposure of populations to this harm. So meaning, God forbid that you get rained on. Because if you get this rain, what you're getting is this cocktail of toxins. That's what they are saying here. I want you to read this by yourself. I want you to go to their website and read this on your own leisure time. Involve more with this, because this is really affecting our lives and the lives of our children and all life on Earth. So that's what I want you to see on their solar geoengineering technology fact sheet series. You can find it online as well, and you can see this for yourself. I will show you another document, and it's called Chemtrails Conspiracy Theory. This is where David Keith from this Harvard research group, the main scientist on this bogus experiment affecting our lives right now, where he is responding to claims about chemtrails. And you can also go and find it on Harvard's webpage. But I want to grab your attention to this here. We are not now involved. We are not now involved in outdoor experimentation. He's not involved on this. though we are indeed actively developing proposals for field experiments, because that's what scientists do. They develop proposals, they do experimentation. This experiment will proceed only if it is conducted in a fully transparent and public manner. Have you seen chemtrails out there? Have you ever received a consent form to be rained upon toxins? Because I haven't. This is a violation of human rights. Because if he says he created this experiment, and if he says that it's not being deployed, it will be conducted in a transparent and public manner. In the United States, I have not seen any government institution telling the people of the United States that they're going to begin chemtrailing or solar radiation management or whatever they call it. I have not seen any of those methods explained to the public, and so that the public gives consent to this. If you have seen it, please send me an email. I have not seen any consents requested from the public. And only if it passes a comprehensive independent safety review. The experimental plans, operations, and results will be publicly available and freely usable. No patenting. So what he's saying here is that this will be conveyed to the public in a transparent way. Like I said, I have not seen any consents, and I will not give my consent ever to be rained down on toxins or to inhale a toxin. I will not consent to this. So for me, and for you too, this is a violation of human rights, because no one should have to consent for the sake of the climate to death or to disease, respiratory diseases, skin diseases, brain problems, because this is what this is bringing. So you can also find this response that he gave concerning chemtrails conspiracy and what he's saying. I will bring your attention now to another document, and I will explain to you what this is. So this is a report so that you see, for those naysayers out there, that geoengineering doesn't exist, chemtrails doesn't exist. They have been speaking about this for many years. This goes back to 2011. This is an IPCC expert meeting on geoengineering. IPCC is a group from United Nations here, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. These people here are the scientists that get together and write reports on climate problems. This is also proof that geoengineering, in fact, indeed, is a problem. And you can go to the United Nations page and you can click on IPCC and see all the reports. You can find in there the latest report, AR6, Synthesis Report, Climate Change 2023 from IPCC. This report summarizes climate issues and problems that they discussed for years and years and years. And after 10 years of talking about these topics, they make a report. But the most important thing I want you to see, there is from United Nations, a body of scientists that are working on this and are also responsible for saying yes to geoengineering and its deployment. These people, they are also involved on this experiment. I will bring your attention now to other different, this is all different resources I found online. And this is one from Carbon Brief, where they are discussing the, it says geoengineering carries large risks for the natural world, studies show. Reducing the impacts of human-caused climate change through the use of bioenergy with carbon capture and storage, better known as BECCS, could have major consequences for wildlife, forests, and water resources. So there are communities of people out there that they're understanding that this geoengineering program is also damaging not only for us, for life, for the forest, for the planet at large. You can also see this, it's Carbon Brief. You can also see this document out there, and many other bodies of people that are worried about the planet and about other people. They're putting together these articles so that we better understand the impact of geoengineering on our lives and on the planet. This is also another document that is coming from the Carnegie Council for Ethics. You can find Carnegie Council for Ethics online, and this is a document that they, an article that they put together in 2017, and they're just discussing about the mitigation, how is geoengineering is going to affect mitigation, how is the distributive justice going to take place, meaning how is it going to be deployed globally, procedural justice, how should decisions be made, because this is a deployment that affects globally, because they said it themselves. If they manipulate the weather, they have learned how to change the precipitation in one area. They're going to change the weather as well, and the precipitation and the climate in another part of the world, because the earth, we have divided the earth with boundaries, and you live here, that one lives there, you know, Africa, this continent, that continent. But at the end, it's a sphere. It's a sphere where everything rotates, and the air comes from here to Alaska and comes back, and things like that. Okay, we're all connected, is what I'm trying to say. So they're here discussing also about the ethical issues of geoengineering, because I'm telling you, there are many ethical issues concerning this. And I will start by, it's a violation of human rights. But you can go to Carnegie, and you can find many interesting articles they have about geoengineering and the ethical issues of its deployment. My next document I want to bring is also from Carnegie. It's called Solar Radiation Modification, which is solar radiation management. This was written on March 2022. It's very fresh. And you can see here the contents and the summary, why they think there are many risks to this deployment. And they basically talk about it. But I will not go into detail of this. I just want you to see how many people out there are concerned about geoengineering. And you can go to Carnegie Climate Governance Initiative and look for this article and read it so that you're more informed. My next document, it's going to be concerning, this is another article I found from Geoengineering Global. Geoengineering Global, and they're discussing here basically a stratospheric aerosol injection, which are the chemtrails, solar radiation management, which is what Harvard is proposing. And then they discuss stratospheric, what is a stratospheric aerosol injection, the definition. So that you see, this is the troposphere, this is where we are located. A stratosphere, this is where the airplanes fly, and this is where the airplanes that you see with the chemtrails, that's their location, and this is the mesosphere. So they're telling here how this idea of Harvard came about. It was concerning a volcano eruption that they saw some years ago, and they are explaining how when volcanoes erupt, they exude sulfur, and depending on the size of the volcano, it will cool down the area because of the ashes for some time. So based on a volcano that erupted, they made the geoengineering experiment came out of a volcano eruption. So they are trying to simulate how volcanoes are able to cool down the atmosphere for months or for years, and they want to do that in an experiment. They want to recreate what nature does. They want to recreate it in a lab. This is what they are doing. So they want to recreate the sulfur that is naturally derived from the bottom of Earth. Because, you know, volcanoes, the lava comes from the bottom of Earth. It's a way of releasing the heat from the internal Earth. When this heat is released, there is lava, and then the ashes, the fumes is sulfur. But this is a natural process. This is a natural process that has never had any issues for our health. And they want to take this same experiment and do it in a lab with sulfur that is not naturally derived and other components. So this is where the geoengineering idea came from. So that's why I wanted to show you this other article. And to show you as well, it says here, besides sulfate, other reflective aerosols that are being considered for this solar radiation management approach include black carbon, metallic aluminum, aluminum oxide, and barium titanate. I know what aluminum is. It's used in deodorants and is very damaging for us. But this is another approach that I'm sure they're already using in the aerosols because they are experimenting. All of these, carbon, aluminum, aluminum oxide, barium titanate, and sulfides, that's what we are inhaling. That's what we are getting through our skin. That's what it's in our blood, in our lungs, in our brain. Don't dwell on this. Don't sleep on this, because this is happening now, today, in December 2023. And then they go also by saying, unfortunately, there are dangers associated with stratospheric aerosol injection. This approach may reduce rainfall, like we were discussing before. So they are affecting rainfalls and precipitation in some areas of the world. Loss of crops, so they are affecting harvest crops and the food that people need to eat also around the world. Okay? Loss of crops and access to fresh water due to reduced rainfall that could lead to starvation and suffering. So I'm telling you, this is not made up. This geoengineering program is affecting us at all levels, including our food, our sustenance, our crops, the soil that needs to be fertile for the crops. They are affecting everything. It's here. If this approach were used, it would be important to develop and implement measures to protect people and save lives and livelihoods. Despite the potential problems with this method, the benefits could potentially outweigh its downsides. This is not true. There are no benefits to risk. If there is a risk, just one risk to an experiment on people, it should not pass. This is why it's so relevant to be informed and to ask your representatives who is deploying this, who is involved on this program, who owns the airplanes. Is it NASA? Is it the military? Is it Harvard? Who owns the airplanes that are doing this on us? Because like you're seeing, it's not potentially, it's already affecting precipitation, rainfall, food, our sustenance on this earth. You can come to this article, Geoengineering Global. You can find it online and you can continue reading by yourself. But I wanted to be sure that we all knew the origins of the experiment based on this volcano, that I cannot wrap my mind about that. It's like, to me, it's just unbelievable. But this is where it came from. And this paragraph about the dangers and risks to our food sustenance. I thought this was a very, very important piece of information to give you. And I'm going to go on my my other slide I wanted to show you. And this is just concerns individually. What can we all do individually for this problem? I personally, for 4 years, I have been writing to many governmental institutions about this problem. Never one person has ever responded an email acknowledging my concerns as a human being, as a citizen of a certain part of the planet, Miami-Dade County. Never have they addressed my concern. I sent an email to the environmental department at Miami-Dade County, and they did respond, and they said that was not in their hands, in other words. But I have reached to the people I can. No one has ever responded to me. I also, on many occasions, have reached out to Mayor Daniela Levine Cava of Miami-Dade County. I have emailed, I have sent documents, I have asked on Twitter, Facebook, email personally to her, to that email here, mayor@miamidade.gov. Never has one person from her department or herself reached out to me as a consumer, as a constituent of Miami-Dade County, as a human being worried for everybody else about what geoengineering is and why it is being deployed so aggressively in Miami-Dade County for the last 4 years. There is not one day that we don't have the cloud forming and the rain and the thunderstorms and the aerosols. Never have I gotten a response. And I've been emailing for many years. I'm trying to contact them. What I'm trying to say, our leaders, they do not respond to us. I want you to know that. They have a set of programs that they need to go through and finish while they are there. And things like this is not their concern. And it should be the first concern. This lady here, she's huge on water management, and she doesn't care about rain falling and about water pollution of Miami-Dade County's waterways. My next slide, I want to also present to you Governor DeSantis. He's running now for US president. Also many emails with many documents asking him, what is geoengineering? Why is it being deployed in Florida? Why is it being deployed in the south area of Florida so aggressively? Not one response, not one letter, not one email, not one phone call, nothing. They are not working for us. This is a type of leader that we don't want. My next slide concerns another agency that I have personally emailed, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. They did respond. They said they do not have control of the space. Basically, if there is pollution on the space, which there is, because this is what geoengineering is provoking, pollution, this is not in their hands. It's not in the jurisdiction. A space is not, listen to this, okay? A space is not in the jurisdiction of the United States Environmental Protection Agency, okay? It's not. They are not concerned with environmental pollution that is on the space. That's why they couldn't help me or give me any information. I have done my job as a citizen, as a human being. I have been for 4 years talking about geoengineering and everything that is affecting us without even reading any of these resources I am giving you. I am giving you these all resources because you need to see something with your eyes so that you can believe it. My emails and everything I have done in the past is just coming from me as a human being, knowing how this is affecting us without reading one article. Just knowing that the food is getting bad. There won't be no sustenance. That the animals are being affected. That the plants are being affected. That we are being affected. I have out there on Medium an article I wrote on 2021 without seeing any of this about everything this is provoking on us. But I have my perception going on for me. And I know I have to speak. Because if I don't speak, people are getting damaged. And it's not going to occur on my watch. Because we're all human beings and we should protect each other. That's what we should be doing. Protecting each other, becoming conscious, becoming perceptive, so that these things do not happen to us. Then I want to show you as well another body of government, United Nations, that I have also filed a report with them with information why geoengineering is not going to work. And you can go here if you want to say something. You can file a report. You can inform this is a violation of human rights. And they will not respond to you either. They did not respond to me. Then I want to show you, since we all need so much information to really understand and basically be aware of what is happening. These are just tweeted accounts, and these people are here. Chemtrails have successfully blocked out the sun. Yesterday's blue skies are now on the cover. I just want you to see and have more proof that people are concerned about this and that they are posting on social media about this. This is another post from Concerned Citizen, and he is posting about chemtrails. America is getting absolutely harmed coast to coast by chemtrails. At least more and more people are starting to realize, and I hope those watching this video start to realize this as well, because these are chemtrails. It's not a conspiracy theory. We have another tweet from Dr. Henry Ely. Dimming, get your morning dimming. Solar radiation management brought to you by Gates, Good Club, and the DOD. Well, because this geoengineering program, if you go to Harvard, you will see who's funding this program, and Bill Gates, it's on there. He's a founder. He's a donor of money for this program along many other people. So that's why he's making that comment there. Then you have another post from Stand the Truth, where she's also just talking heavily sprayed for days on end. This heavily sprayed for days on end, that's what's happening to us here in Miami-Dade County since 2020. This is also from another post from another Twitter, another Twitter individual. This is another one looking up at the sky, which is showing more chemtrails. So I just want you to see this so that you know there are people out there that they are. We should have had blue skies and white fluffy clouds today, but look at the chemical mess across the sun. I'm literally sick of this. So this is just a few posts I found so that you see that some people out there, they have opened their eyes and their minds, and they're worried about this. See, they post about this. No one can make this up. This is not up. This is pictures taken from people just like you and me. They are concerned about what they see on the sky, because they look up and they see this is not normal. This is how they make the clouds. You see, this is cloud forming. This is cloud forming. This is solar radiation management. This is dimming the sun. Okay, you see all of this. This is all how they dim the sun, the chemtrails. So it's not a conspiracy. We're all seeing this, and we all know that this is taking place. Then, this is the topic I wanted to bring today about chemtrails and how it is affecting our lives. And I want to also show you a last resource. And this is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations. I want to bring you to article number 3. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. This is why this program, these chemtrails, is a violation of human rights, because we have not given our consent to be sprayed upon chemicals that affect our lives, our health, the life of our families and children. We need to know more about this. We need to know who owns the airplanes. Why are they flying? Why do they fly in a particular area more than in other areas? We need to know why, if Harvard, that is the proposed proposal of the program says it will be made with full transparency. We are seeing the clouds and the aerosols, and no one is telling us what is in the clouds. How much percentage of toxins are they putting in the clouds? I want to know, as per this Article 3 of the United Nations for Human Rights, I want to know what I'm breathing. And I want to know the amount of toxins and the level of toxins on my body. Because as per this, we have the right to know. We have the right to our life. Everything on earth has the right to its life. Animals, plants, vegetation, people, whatever it is that is there, that exists, has the right to life. And we have not given consent to this. This is why it's a violation of human rights. And this is why we need to get involved very profusely with our government institution, people, mayors, whomever you can find that you can talk about this, and ask them, why are the airplanes flying without our consent? Why is this not talked about on the news? What is the amount of toxins you have put so far on my body since 2020, when this started very, very, very quickly alongside COVID-19? Because we want to know. Because we care for each other. The only way to survive on this planet is that this doesn't take place. Care for your life and care for everything else, because we have been played on the name of climate change.